Hello Nigerians, this is your friend and brother Dr. Haruna Goro. I just shared a video of the press conference of Peter Obi, and that was his first broadcast after the Supreme Court judgment. We know what all happened there. There's no more justice in Nigeria. And Baba-Ahmed Detti was also present during that press conference. I loved the press conference. Peter Obi addressed so many issues, and I believe that Nigerians have heard him, and it's up to the Nigerians now what they do with their destiny. After the press conference, Baba-Ahmed was with the Arise television, and there he really spoke some serious things there. The temperament of Baba-Ahmed is different to that of Peter. Peter is a gentle, calm person. Baba-Ahmed, remember what he said before the swearing in of Tinubu? He said swearing in Tinubu when this election was fraudulent, where it was stolen, where they bought this mandate from Yakubu, that swearing him in will be ending democracy. And people were up in arms criticizing him. Even this old man, what's his name, Wole Soyinka, was criticizing him and spoke very funny things about him. But you can hear even from this current interview that Detti had with the Arise television, he's calling on Nigerians to be the ones to take their nation back, which is what I've been calling. I'm saying we need a revolution. And this revolution is not to shed blood based on the Constitution. We have a right to take our nation back, which is what he was calling Nigerians to do. So I want you to listen to him.
News everywhere in Nigeria. This man has delivered nothing and is poised to deliver nothing. Well, they have not moved an inch Nigeria from consumption and waste to production, and they will not do it. They will not stop the killings and start the healing. Well, they will not stop the stealing and start the keeping. And right. They will not stop slide of Nigeria, and they cannot start the climb.
Well, I mean, the international community, certainly some in the international community, would beg to differ with your assessment, because I wonder what your reaction is to the latest Fitch international ratings agency, which is hugely respected across the world, and that is the front page of this day newspaper today. Fitch has rated Nigeria's credit worthiness as stable. It's given it a B-. I mean, surely that suggests that international confidence, and it did actually say that, in the Tinubu government is growing. Well, can I just make the point? Even though, in fairness to some of the points that you're making, according to Fitch, that rating is constrained by what they described as weak governance, low non-oil revenue, security challenges, which you talked about, high inflation, low forex reserves, and weakness in the exchange rate framework. Nevertheless, for somebody who just started in office about 5-6 months ago, to have that kind of rating from...
I have a lot to say.
Yeah, go ahead. To have that kind of rating is pretty impressive, isn't it?
Charles, it would have been more productive if you listen to Nigerians on the streets. More productive if you go into the villages and find out from those whose families are abducted. Find out from average Nigerian worker when they go to buy foodstuff in the market. Not Fitch. Fitch don't know you. They don't know Nigerians, they don't know. Look, I live on statistics. I eat, I sleep statistics. So does Obi. We create statistics.
Yeah, really. But Fitch are the people who give...
Are you forgetting...
Who impress the international community to bring their investment into this country?
Are you forgetting the likes of Fitch and those rating agencies are those who were largely responsible for the 2008-9 financial crisis? But look, let's not go into those lines. Let's come back to Nigeria. All I'm telling you, you're looking the wrong way. If you want to know what's happening in Nigeria, come to us in Nigeria and don't read those statistics because they are misleading. They always speak about growth. It's not growth actually that matters, those figures that give you, because there is nothing as misleading as far as welfare is concerned as growth. The stethoscope you use in measuring the heartbeat of an elephant, for example, China, cannot be the same one you use to measure the heartbeat of a rat. Smaller countries, I won't call any country a rat. Do you understand? Leave that aside. Let's come back to Nigeria and speak about what is happening in our streets, in our villages, in our markets. These people have not done any bold step. The only bold thing they did was to shut down IREF. The only bold thing they did was to misapply force on the weak Nigerian institutions that we have. Now, ask this question. For someone that has been playing God, in quotes, for such a long time like Alhaji Tinubu, and it is time for a mortal, like maybe Obi, or somebody to put him in his right place. For someone who has wielded so much power in a country like Nigeria, where is that power in the last 6 months for them to apply in our welfare and our security? They cannot do it. They are in power for themselves, for their ego, for their wealth, for their comfort, for their own considerations, not for Nigeria. We are pained about every soul that is killed, that is abducted and killed. We are pained by every naira that is paid as ransom. And we are committed to stopping that. And stopping we will. And I'm telling you, give these people...
as a member of the opposition?
Stopping we will whenever we get the power to do this.
So between now...
let me finish. Where is the power? The same kind of power they used in getting Mahmoud Yakubu 4 a.m. to declare them against the provisions of the Constitution. Where is that power? To prop up the exchange rate of Naira, to stop the killings. They don't have it and they will not do it.
Well, you did say that you wanted to move forward because obviously we've established the fact that the election is over. You have grievances against the results, but he's been affirmed by the Supreme Court.
You said methodical. Let's now be methodical. What I want to tell you is that the big picture, we say democracy is government. Well, let me just go. Democracy is not government of the people, for the people, by the people. Democracy is government of the people who have earned their rights, for the people who can protect their constitution, by the people who can exercise civil liberties.
So given what
when they say people, what kind of people? The people who will fold their arms while their constitution is violated, then democracy is not for you. I have said it. It belongs to only those who can practice it with respect.
So
just hold on.
Right. I was going to ask you what your assessment of the state of democracy is in Nigeria, given what you just said.
It is poor. The people have to wake up to the challenges. For a people that are ready to accept anything, then anything will happen to them. Again, in quotes. You see, a fraction of 1% difference in a political DNA of a society can spell the difference between servitude and freedom. Last year you saw it. Indian farmers sat in a location for 1 year because of one obnoxious government policy until Indian government reversed it. Before the war in Israel, Israelis were in the street for 16 weeks, counting. You can count so many other countries. Nigerians are not yet ready to do this. As I'm speaking to you, the likes of my former friend who would say it's treason, is all that, I am educating Nigerians. Rise up for your rights. No justice of Supreme Court will give you democracy.
Yeah,
you have to go out.
But they're not going to be able to reverse that, are they?
They will.
I mean, they
Nigerians,
can't.
this
Constitutionally,
is, no,
they
no,
can't.
constitutional and legal. And this is where I differ. With all modesty, okay, I don't mind being alone on this, but I know I'm not breaking any law, and I have never had a criminal record.
So what are you actually calling on the
finish.
people to do?
I'm
trying to understand what you're saying.
I'm getting to that.
Sure.
I'm
Just
saying,
that we're running out of time. So
I'm saying that, and again, this is instructive. I'm saying that we, the people that stood to form the Nigerian Constitution today, it is not over. For we, the people, power is that which remains standing when there is nothing to oppose it. A leader is he who remains followed when there is nobody to challenge. Authority is that which is implemented when there is nothing to stop it. They have the leaders in place now with wielding authority with political power. But power and sovereignty belongs to the Nigerian people, we the people, on whose behalf an elected government is exercising that authority. Now, where the people are dissatisfied with the rulings of their courts, they own Nigeria. Alhaji Tinubu does not own Nigeria. Peter Obi does not own Nigeria.
Yeah, but the
Nigerians on the streets own Nigeria.
But the
and
APC,
listen, I'm getting to the point.
The APC would argue that you don't own Nigeria either. That you have a portion of the electorate that voted for you.
I'm not telling you it is not over. I'm telling you it is not over. For Peter Obi and me, it is over. For we, the people, the Nigerian people, at any point in time, they can take back Nigeria. Especially where their constitution has been violated. Especially where all that the Supreme Court ended up doing was to sustain the unconstitutionality of a certain election.
Let me come in here, because between now and 2027, which is when the next presidential election is due, how do you think things will play out, and what role do you see yourself and Peter Obi and the Labour Party playing in that?
When the Nigerian people rise to defend their constitution, anything can happen. And
well, that sounds quite a bit worryingly frightening.
We are in a worryingly frightening situation. I told you I'm not here to repeat what you've been hearing. And I was prepared to come here. I have never had a criminal record. I love my peace. And I'm repeating that when the Nigerian people decide, Nigeria is theirs for the taking. And any fraudulently elected government is fair game for them. Nigerian people have the right, the constitutional right. As we speak now, DSS can go and interpret. They have lawyers there. Police, IG and every day can go and interpret. The Nigerian people have that power. Not Obi or Atiku or anybody. Nigerian people have the power at any point in time to take their country. All they have to do, not even seek approval. They give notice.
It's interesting.
And listen. You turn away the barrel of your guns, away from the Nigerian people, and point them at the enemies of Nigeria. This country belongs to Nigerians.
Well, you've made that point.
When Nigerians decide, but if they want to practice democracy, they will take this country. It has happened before. The military decided, they took Nigeria for so long, they fixed Nigeria and handed it back. Now, whoever thinks that the Supreme Court will give democracy from any courtroom, the way it appears now is mistaken.
It's interesting.
Nigerians have to go out.
You've made that point.
Nigerians have to go out and democracy. And this is not a treasonable comment. I am not a careless person. I have never.
You thought the things you're saying through.
I thought it through very, very well. Well, the Constitution is made by Nigerian people. The Supreme Court is a sub of one chapter that the Nigerian people constitutionally came out that we the people, and the same constitution says that no person or groups of persons shall take over the governance of Nigeria or any part thereof except as prescribed by this constitution. And go and read the constitution of Nigeria. The serving Alhaji Tinubu Malam Shetima government breaches the Nigerian constitution.
Right, okay, can I come in here for a minute?
Yes.
Because you mentioned Kashim Shettima. Yes. Your brother, the spokesman of the Northern Elders Forum, Hakeem Baba-Ahmed, is of course now serving as a special advisor on political matters to the Vice President, Kashim Shettima, which means that he might have to help Mr. Shettima to devise a strategy for dealing with political opponents such as yourself, his brother. Does that rub you up the wrong way, given all the things you've just said about that government? Your own brother is now working for them?
Charles, I am after the government. I'm not after appointment. I am after the president and the vice president who were fraudulently elected, unconstitutionally elected. I cannot come down to speak about any appointment. He is by far my senior brother. So there's no way to say he's an adult or he has his own rights or his own life to live. Our politics are completely detached. And in fact, it is his boss I know, not him. And his boss, since you brought this question, he is not exactly a responsible gentleman. With all the things they've been doing, now you brought up this issue, I didn't want to talk about it. You see, they attempted something on my safety, on my security, and I was able to find out 10 minutes to time. And God so kind, I was able to avoid. They tried to get me into one of those yellow houses down the road, get people to come and arrest me there, and use that to rig the judgment. I became so inquisitive, and I dodged within 10 minutes, only for me to come and find out, based on strong suspicion, where it came from. And with what I see, then the strangulations in Lagos in the past, yes, they happened, and they were for a reason. The people gunned down in Borno State, it happened, and yes, it was for a reason. I think Peter Obi and myself have been lucky to have stood today to give that press conference. So the least, taking my senior brother to give him an appointment, is the least of my worries. I am not worried about any appointment.
Right. Well, let me bring in another.
If he likes, he can go and take the entire Baba-Ahmeds and give them ministers. I don't mind.
Well, let me try.
I will still.
You'll still stand by the things you say.
It is an unconstitutional.
Which is impressive that you stand firmly by your beliefs.
Yes.
But you were called fascist by the Nobel laureate Professor Wole Soyinka because you and Peter Obi claimed you had won the election. He used those words. He accused you of trying to force a lie on the Nigerian people. How much did that broadside affect you, coming from someone with such a stature as Wole Soyinka?
Please, I respect him too much, and I have more important issues to discuss. Let's go to another question.
Right, so you don't want to talk about it?
I don't talk about
okay.
Well, come back to Shettima, and I'll talk about Shettima.
Well, let me talk about something.
A very irresponsible gentleman.
Let me talk about something that is imminent. Be he
the vice president or whatever that he is, I'm telling you that he has conducted himself in so many ways in these 6 months that demean the office of vice president, and I'm not happy about it, especially the way he's been treating our elder, Atiku Abubakar. Atiku Abubakar is getting to 80. He is by no measure of imagination Shettima's mate. How can Shettima come out and say that the Kanuris crack jokes with Fulanis, therefore he's going to retire him to Dubai or Morocco? And these are very personal issues.
I'm telling you, Baba-Ahmed is fearless. Nigerians, this is our time to take our nation back. I've been saying, are you going to wait and be suffering for another 4 years? Maybe even 8 years. This is the time that we should take our nation back from these political thugs, these thieves and these scavengers. I mean, having somebody who is a certificate forger, somebody who has committed perjury, somebody that's known for drugs, and now they're just dashing out appointment and they just appoint all kinds of people. That's what some of you wanted, and now you have it. And Baba-Ahmed has spoken the truth. I don't want anybody to come on my page here or on my channel and start spewing out negative things because you've been bought, because you are naive and you are ignorant of what is happening. These people don't have the interest of Nigerians at heart. Tinubu is an illegitimate president. He is the Supreme Court's president, and they use money to do it. Are we kids? Have you seen Nigerians rejoice? Have you seen them celebrate as a result of what the Supreme Court did? 7 judges all came to affirm his presidency because they've been bribed. But their end is coming. So Nigerians, it's up to you to take your nation back. Thank you very much for joining me today. Feel free to share this broadcast with as many people as you can. And also subscribe to my channel if you have not. And on Facebook, please follow me. Once again, this is your friend and brother, Dr. Haruna Goro. God bless you, and may God bless the Federal Republic of Nigeria. Bye-bye for now.